من جهل ماضيه جهل حاضره ومستقبله. If you don't know your past, you won't understand the present, and also you may not know where you're going. You may not know the future. It's very important for people to understand the history. For right now, if you want to know the value and the virtues and of these 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, you will need to look at the past. Look into the history of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. Allah himself, in his making, in the revelations he sent to Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, he says, وَاتْلُ عَلَيْهِمْ نَبَأَ Ibrahim. Read to them the scriptures of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. Remember, he's one of the prophets. Allah made mention of him and said, Inna Ibrahim kana ummah. He was one man, but he did work that would be done by a society. He did work that is still benefiting people. Inna Ibrahim kana ummah. Among the people, there are people who indeed could do something that is benefiting the whole community. Wonderfully, Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam was born during the regime of one of the kings called Canaan, the son of Canaan called Namrud ibn Canaan in Damascus. And Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam made a challenge because the king had made a law, whoever gives birth to a boy, he will be killed. Why? The king had seen in his dreams that there will come time and a boy will be born who will lead to destruction of his kingdom. Well, you will understand very well that the king of the kingdomship and leadership of Namrud ibn Canaan was based on mischiefs, doing evil, and much more, worshipping idols. And Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala doesn't want anybody to worship other than him. It's only Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala to be worshipped. A law was made that whoever gives birth to a boy, he will be killed. The mother of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam gave birth to Ibrahim in a deep village, very far away from people, because she didn't want anyone to recognize that she has given birth. Then she left Ibrahim in a cave. Other than being killed when she is seeing, she left Ibrahim in a cave. She didn't know what would happen to his kid. This is Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. Then she got a very big stone and covered onto the top of the cave. She came back after 7 days. History says that she found Ibrahim sucking his fingers. In his fingers there was honey and also milk. Allah provided to him. As usual, as a Muslim, you have to believe that your provision is from Allah. He is the provider. Wherever you are, whatever the situation, He will still provide, as He provided Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam. History again says that Allah gave Ibrahim a hyper growth rate, in a way that a kid of 1 month could resemble Ibrahim of 1 week. And also Ibrahim at 1 month could resemble a kid of 1 year. Ibrahim came out of the cave as if he was a kid of 12 years. Then when he came out, Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam, first of all, he searched for his provider, his Lord, Ar-Rabb, Man Rabbi. The first thing Ibrahim did was to search who provides me, who has been safeguarding me, for where I have been, none of you has been there but Allahu Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Before he saw people, Ibrahim, Allah makes mention of this and says, فَلَمَّا جَنَّ عَلَيْهِ اللَّيْلُ, when it was a night, رَأَى كَوْكَبًا, he saw a star. قَالَ هَذَا رَبِّي, and then he said, maybe this is my Lord. فَلَمَّا أَفَلَ, when the star disappeared, Ibrahim says, I am not in love with those who disappear, because my Lord who has been providing me has been there, and he will never disappear. So if a star is disappearing, means it's not Lord. The next step was looking to the moon. فَلَمَّا رَأَى الْقَمَرَ بَارِغًا قَالَ هَذَا رَبِّي, when he saw the moon very shining, the light from the moon was sharp more than that from the star, and then Ibrahim said, قَالَ هَذَا رَبِّي, this is my Lord. فَلَمَّا أَفَلَ, when when the the moon, it came a time and the moon disappeared. Ibrahim said, لَإِن لَمْ يَهْدِنِي رَبِّي لَأَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الْقَوْمِ الضَّالِينَ. If Allah doesn't guide me, then I will be among those who are misled. فَلَمَّا رَأَى الشَّمْسِ. Ibrahim looked at the sun. بَارِغَةً قَالَ هَذَا رَبِّي هَذَا أَكْبَرُ. Giving a sharpest light more than that of the moon and that of the star. Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam said, this is my true Lord. He is indeed the biggest one. Ibrahim, later he saw also the sun disappearing. He requested and also prayed that he wanted to see his parents. Narrations say Ibrahim received the angel Gabriel, who came and picked him, took him to the house of his mother. The moment Ibrahim stepped into the house of his mother and his stepfather called Azra, Ibrahim asked them the biggest question: who is my Lord? Who has been providing for me? Then the mother to Ibrahim said, your father is my provider, for I, a woman, is the one who provides for me. Ibrahim didn't believe it. He said, no, but he has not been and who is the provider of my dad? Then he said, your stepdad, his provider is Namrud, because that is what people knew. Everyone in the kingdom knew that Namrud is the one providing to them. And Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala had given them that Namrud was a spirit and people could fear him. So some of them could worship him. And Ibrahim's mission was to prove to people that Namrud is not the creator, neither is he the provider. Then, soon as the father had that, he had to report Ibrahim to Namrud. Azra was one of the strongest people of Namrud. He was working in the kingdom and he knew that the king had to be respected. He came, reported to the king that, please, the boy you were worried of was born and he is in my house. And I don't know how he reached there, and he's not my son, and it's true he wasn't his father, but he is in my house. And he is also asking of who provides. He's asking of who is a true Lord. Then he commanded that Ibrahim comes in front of the king, and then the king would make a judgment after hearing what Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam could say. When Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam was brought in front of Namrud alayhi la'natullah, Namrud told Ibrahim, Udukhul fi dini. Ibrahim, join our religion. Wa ma'ana alayhi. And what I'm really doing, follow my commandments. فَأَنَا الَّذِي خَلَقْتُكَ وَرَزَقْتُكَ. I am the one who has been providing you, and I am the one who created you. Ibrahim couldn't believe it because he wasn't there. Ibrahim stayed a lot of days in the cave and Namrud wasn't there. And Namrud is arguing that he is the creator and he is the one who has been providing to Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. But he didn't accept. قال Ibrahim, كذبت, you are a liar. يا نمرود الذي خلقني فهو يهدين. The one who created me, for indeed he will guide me. وَالَّذِي هُوَ يُطْعِمُنِي وَيَسْقِينِ. He is indeed the one who has been feeding me and also giving me what to drink, as it is mentioned in the Quran. Scholars say, because the stepdad to Ibrahim was a friend to the king, he told the father to Ibrahim, the stepdad, the king said, Ya Azar, or you stepdad to Ibrahim, waladaka as-saghir. Your kid is still young. La yadri ma yaqul. He doesn't know what he's saying. Wala yajuzu limithli fi qadari. And what he's saying is not permissible in my presence. As you know, these are kings, and he was telling the uncle to Ibrahim, in other words. Wa adhamu mulki. Given the strength of my kingdom, someone can't say this. أن يجعل به فخذ إليك وأحسن إليه وأحذره. Today I'm giving you a chance today. حذره. Stop him. Go talk to him. Advise him. وكان عازرة the stepdad, the uncle to Ibrahim, started advising him. وَكَانَ يَحْضُرُهُ السَّاعَةِ وَيَقُولُ لَهُ خُذْ هَذِهِ الْأَصْنَامِ. And he also could give him the idols to go and sell them, because they used to worship idols. He could give him idols to go and sell them in the market. Ibrahim, at a youngest tender age, asked his stepdad, Ya Abati, Dad, Lima ta'abudu ma la yasma'u. Why should you believe? Why should you have faith in that doesn't hear? Wala yubsiru wala yughni anka shay'a. It doesn't see. These are idols. They don't see, they don't hear. They won't benefit you with anything. وَكَانَ أَبُوهُ يَقُولُ لَهُ, and his father used to say, لَإِن لَمْ تَنْتَهِ لَأَرْجُمَنَّكَ وَاهْجُرْنِي مَلِيًّا. If you don't stop what you say, my son, if you don't stop your words and arguments, you will be killed. Please leave in front of me. Ibrahim left with the idols, walked into the market, crawling them onto the ground and asking them, يقول من يشتري ما لا يضره ولا ينفعه. Who is buying something that won't benefit him? Who is buying something that can't hurt him? And he says that this is his Lord. فَكَانَتِ النَّاسُ يَنْظُرُونَهُ بِعَيْنِ الْإِحْتِرَامِ. People used to look at him with a respectful eye, with having mercy on him, because they knew Ibrahim was to be killed. When Ibrahim was 17 years old, alayhi salatu wassalam, it came a time of worshipping the idols, and it was a very big celebration called the Eid, an event of celebrating the idols whereby people could come with food and they prepare the food, and every people come, they eat together, they dance and do all that of worshipping idols. Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam was told to go, and he told them, no, I'm not feeling well, inni saqim. He didn't go. Then he did a trick. Allah had given him wisdom when he's still young. Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam cut off all the idols. Then later he left an axe on the right side of the biggest idol, because they had made idols that resemble human beings. Then when they came back, they asked, who has cut down our idols? Who has cut down our gods? Gods with small g. Who has cut down our gods? You can imagine, they are worshipping them, asking them, glorifying them, but they don't know who cut them, and they couldn't help themselves by the time someone came to cut them, but they still believe that these are their gods. Now Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam was reported by one of the residents. He said, we had one of the boys here, a youth called Ibrahim, was talking badly about them. He could be the one who killed them. Then Ibrahim was asked alayhi salatu wassalam. Qala, Ibrahim said, bal fa'alahu kabiruhum. No, the biggest idol is the one who did it. Ask the bigger God. The bigger God is the one who killed the smaller ones. Fas'aluhu, ask him, in kanu yantiqun, if indeed they talk. If indeed they talk, you ask them. Faraja'u ila anfusim faqalu innakum antum adh-dhalimun. Then they started blaming each other. For indeed some of them understood it and said, for really, why should we worship something that can't help itself? And some of them turned to others and said, for indeed we are in a total loss. So Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam was building a strong belief, a monotheism into them, that Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala is the one worthy of worship, and is the one who can hope, is the one who can order, and his order can't be disrespected. Then later Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam, in this qissa, they made an agreement of punishing Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam. Hopefully bi'idhnillahi tabaraka wa ta'ala that we continue with the history such that it could benefit all of us. We pray Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala to guide me and guide you, and may Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala bless us, mostly in these days that we are in. May Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala enable us, make ibadah, worship him, do adhkar, and also do the sacrifice. And it as it was among the culture of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam. Wa la'afa minkum wa sallallahu sallam ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sallam. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.